So today I'm gonna film sort of a different type of video. We'll see how this works. It might be edited around. I'm not quite sure, but I've had this idea in my head for a while, and I've asked around to a lot of the doll groups and whatnot, like different ideas for this video. So I am going to do a Reborns 101 and talk about like the basics of Reborns and just kind of cover a lot of stuff. And there's one thing I want to get out of the way first. This is just I have my notes here. This is just like my number one to let everybody. So in case nobody watches the whole of this video, then you've heard this. So my number one is don't ask for free stuff ever. Like ever. Don't ask for free reborns. Don't ask for free clothes. Don't ask for donations towards a doll. Don't use sob stories. 9 out of 10 times you will look like a scammer. So in the doll community, we do not like people that ask for free stuff. It is not cool. You won't be ousted, but like no one's gonna talk to you. They're all gonna leave you alone. Like it just ain't cool when you ask for free stuff. Don't go to like a big name YouTuber and say, hey, can I have some free clothes? You know, yeah, you would think that maybe they'd have money for it, but sometimes big YouTubers don't. You know, they look like they've got a lot, but whatever. Anyways, just don't ask for free stuff. That's Reborn 101, number one big thing. It's never ask for free stuff. And don't come up with some story how you lost your baby, you know, your real baby, and you need a doll to comfort you. We ain't gonna believe you. And it's sad because lots of people use those stories, and so when someone comes up with a legit story, we don't believe them because so many people have used sob stories and cancer survivors and little children just to get them a free doll. So just don't. Don't. So, number 2, be careful when asking for cheap reborns. I know some are on a budget. I know people are on a budget, but save up. You'll thank me later. Some people don't like it when you ask for cheap. These dolls are the opposite. They're not cheap. Most of the dolls in my collection, one that I got as a gift, but I've not I've had to work for my dolls. I've saved up for ones. Yes, I asked for money from my mother for one of them, but that was just to finish off the payments. But yeah, these dolls aren't cheap. Like, they're not $100, they're not $200. And, you know, in this hobby, usually the more you pay, the more you get. So if you pay $1,000, generally you're going to get a really good quality reborn. And people say, oh, well, I can only afford X amount. Well, I have this app on my phone. It's called Capital, Qapital. It literally takes my change and throws it away. I don't even see it, and it saves it for me. I could save up for a new reborn in no time if I had it all set up. So don't tell me you can't save up, because you can. Put away every paycheck. If you put away $5 every paycheck, like, you won't even see it, and pretty soon you'll have $100, $200 saved, and then maybe you can ask for payment plans, and then you can have that, you know, $200 to put down on a doll. Just don't ask for cheap, because we don't like it. There are groups that sell cheap dolls, but you're taking the risk, because a cheap doll may be made poorly, may not have a lot of paint on it, the rooting may not be up to par, may be very horrible and very pluggy. The supplies inside the doll, maybe they used playground sand, maybe they used the little fish rocks, which can stain the doll. Like, some people have opened their dolls and they found like trash and cigarettes and stuff. It's nasty. So you're better off finding a reputable artist, finding someone, you know, that you trust to get your doll from. And so when you're in a doll group and you are looking around for a doll, you want to state everything that you want. So hair color, eye color, whether you want it awake or asleep, whether you want a full silicone or a reborn, what's your budget? Say I'm looking for 500 and above, so you want the high quality ones. Whether you're, maybe your budget is 400 to 600. State everything that you want, the hair color, all that stuff, so that when people are posting or, commenting back to you, they know what you want. And yeah, you could say, okay, I want a girl and I want blonde hair, and it doesn't, size doesn't matter, whatever. Budget doesn't matter, So just let people know that, like, don't just leave them hanging. If the budget doesn't matter to you, put budget doesn't matter. So that they know that they can post they're really expensive, and then because it's really disheartening, I guess, for when people post stuff, reply to you and you go, oh, I can't afford that. Well, you should have stated in the post what your budget was so that we knew what you could afford and we wouldn't be posting really expensive stuff that you can't afford. And when people are posting dolls that, are ones that you have asked for, ask for references. Ask for safety photos. If you ask for a safety photo with today's date, maybe ask for it with a fork in the picture, or a pen, or something that you have come up with, a frying pan. I don't know. That way you know that person legit has the doll. Because sometimes people can forge safety photos, they can Photoshop things, they can, there's so much that they can do that will make it really hard and you could possibly get scammed. So you want to make sure that you're, like I said, asking for references, say, hey, are there people that have bought from you? Do you have their names? Can I message them so I can, like most big name artists are going to be okay with giving out references. And if there's anything that seems sketchy in any of it, you back out. Don't pay any money. Don't, if it seems too good to be true, there's a lot of these, like, websites popping up, like reborndollshop.com or something like that have Saskias for, like, $80. Those are fake sites. Do not go to them. Do not support their money. Report the website if you can. They are fake. They are using stolen sculpts. You're not getting what you paid for. So anytime something feels wrong, back out. Say, I'm sorry, this isn't going to work. If you've already paid some money and you can tell this person's really fishy, file a claim with PayPal. Be really on the dot. Don't wait, something. But on the other hand, don't go into a group and say, this person's a scammer. They for something they really didn't do. Because we don't like that either. We're not people, whatever. We don't like it when people falsely accuse someone else for stupid little things. Maybe they were on vacation and they couldn't get to their phone. Maybe they were with family. Maybe they had so either side of it, you have to look at it. And these dolls can range from like 200 to in the thousands. If you're looking for like an amazing quality, like those can be over $1,000. And there are people that will pay that money for a prototype quality. And so it ranges. But like I said before, the more you pay, the better you're going to get. It's going to be rooted better, blah, all that stuff. Now, speaking of silicones, there are full silicones and there are partial silicones. Full-bodied silicones means it's like the whole thing. It's a whole solid. There is no such thing as a hollow, full-bodied silicone. That is just not a thing. And they have the private bits, so they come either as a boy or a girl. Now with a Reborn, any doll could be a boy or a girl. So when you ask and you say, oh, I'm looking for girls, in a group, well, if someone posts a boy, don't get all defensive because that boy could look like a girl to somebody else. So like with Reborn, you can make it whatever gender you want. Now silicones, they're either a boy or a girl. Partial silicones are the head and the arms and the legs. Sometimes partial silicones have a belly plate. There was one that I dreamed of years ago, and I can't think of the name, but it had like a wraparound belly plate, and it was like awesome because you still got the cuddly of the cloth body. The cuddly of the cloth body, but then you still, could have the realism for certain outfits and stuff. And there's no such thing as silicone vinyl. If you're on eBay or somewhere and they say it's silicone vinyl, don't believe them. Silicone and vinyl do not mix. It is not a thing. If you're looking at silicones, do not buy Ivita and do not buy BabyCon. Both of these companies are using stolen Reborn sculpts to make silicone dolls. They are illegally producing dolls and making profit off of another sculptor's work. Please do not fight me on this, because you are wrong. And those that say, oh, I love my Ivita, oh, I love my BabyCon, well, there might be a time where that company finally gets taken down, and anybody that owns one of those dolls is going to get it taken away. And yeah, they're cheap, but they're horribly made. Some of them are barely even painted. Some of them, they literally fall apart within months. The paint chips off. Like, they're horrible quality. And so if you want a good silicone doll, your best bet is to order it straight from the artist, or find someone on the secondhand market that can verify, that has the COA, that has all this stuff, that can verify that it is what it is. But I'm going to say this again. Do not buy Ivita and do not buy BabyCon. Because somebody posted, last year I went to the Kansas Doll Show, had a blast. Somebody posted in the group this year and said, so I can't bring my Ivita doll to the show? No. The straight answer was no. Because you have bought a cheapy knockoff doll, and that doll show does not support Ivita or BabyCon, and so they're not going to allow you to bring it. If you have one and you love it, okay, whatever. Just don't go bragging that you have it, because if you keep doing that, we're going to oust you. Us in the doll community, we don't like people that buy Ivita and buy BabyCon. We don't like them. And the people that buy that, some of them are very defensive. I got in a fight with a lady once because I told her that her doll was made. She didn't want to believe me. And so finally I had to step away, and I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. You may watch a bunch of Reborn videos. You may see them crying. You may see them look like they had a poop blowout. You may see them moving. Any number of cooing, any number of sounds. A lot of YouTubers are good at editing. And so they've edited in the baby's cry. They've edited in, I've done it myself. I could totally post some old videos of mine where I've done that. If you see they open the diaper and there's poop in it, it's probably either chocolate or baby food or some sort of Play-Doh, liquid, something or other stuff. Slime, who knows. But the dolls do not poop, they do not pee, they do not cry, they do not coo, they do not blink their eyes. So you could not buy a doll that's eyes open and close, like the old-fashioned baby dolls from the 90s. Like, that's not a thing you can buy. They do not move. Lots of people that make it look like it's moving, it's stop motion. So they just take a bunch of pictures and slice them together. They do not act like a real baby. Most of that is edited. Now, there is full body silicones that have a drinking wet, but that's mainly just for drinking water. They're not perfect yet. They can get really moldy if not cleaned out right. You cannot put a drinking wet in a reborn because a reborn is not a full body. And you cannot put a drinking wet in an already done silicone. The drinking wet has to be done as the doll is being poured. There's no way to put it in. You'd literally be like slicing the doll in half and like cutting out, like scooping out the silicone, which you can't do. I mean, you could. But I don't know why you would. And so, I mean, that's not a thing. Not work in reborns. Also, speaking of drinking wet, you do not want to cut the mouth open to take a full pacifier. And dolls may look like they take a pacifier. There are some that do, that will take like little tiny newborn or preemie pacifiers with an open mouth. But most dolls will take a magnetic pacifier. And so it looks like they're sucking on it, but they're really not. And so if someone says, "Oh, I can cut the mouth for you," don't. Because by doing that, you're weakening the vinyl and you're causing it to deteriorate over time, and you're pulling the pacifier in and out and you're squeezing on it, that it's just going to ruin the doll. And if you have a really expensive limited edition kit that you can't get anymore and you've done that to it, then sooner or later it's just not gonna rib. It's just gonna look like the Joker or something. It's not gonna be fun. And so you're better off getting a magnetic pacifier. I know a lot of people, they want the full pacifier. They want that real baby look. And you can't always get that real baby look. You can pretend, you can put a pacifier next to the doll that hasn't been cut. It just doesn't, you just can't, unless you're getting, there's a few kits, it's the Twin A, or is it Twin B by Bonnie Brown. One of those takes a full pacifier or a thumb. There's a Sophie or Sophia kit on Bountiful Baby that has kind of an open, it was one of the original, like when I first started, like 10 years ago, kits that could take a thumb or a pacifier. So dolls don't take, most reborn dolls take a magnetic pacifier. And you can get the doll to look really real. You can get an artist to paint it to look really real. But you're not going to get, unless you have a silicone. Silicones can take full pacifiers, most of them. Some of them don't have an open mouth. But you're just not going to get that realism because, you don't want to cut the mouth. You don't want to cut the mouth so that you can shove a pacifier, because that's just going to make it all weird. And one more thing before I forget, because it just popped into my head. If you are going to do a trade with somebody, I have one surefire way you will be saved from anything happening. If someone doesn't want to do this, then don't trade with them. Just say, "Sorry, I can't do it." And if they want to call you a scammer, then that's on them. But, so if you're going to do a trade, go on to PayPal, send each other like $200 or whatever you feel, say they're really expensive dolls, so you send each other $500. And so I know people do trades because they can't afford a new doll, but by sending each other equal amounts of money, That way, if you send out your doll and you don't get a doll back, that other person doesn't send their doll, you can then file a complaint with PayPal and say item not received, and then that way you'll still get your 500 or whatever X amount of dollars. I would say 200 or more. Don't do $5. Whatever you think your dolls are worth, make an equal amount. So, 200 or 500, whatever. That way, if something were to happen and you didn't get your doll, then you can file a complaint with PayPal saying item not received, and you should be able to get your money back. That saves you. That means, yeah, you're out a doll, but now you have $500 and you can buy a new one, or you can use it towards whatever you need to use it for, and you're not out anything. If that makes sense. I think that's all I wanted to say. Hey guys, so Editing Ruth here. I came across a post from Bobby Barefoot. I think is how you pronounce her last name. Anyways, she works for Reborns and has come across a lot of people that are buying pre-orders and wanting the doll right then and there and really confused about pre-orders. And so this was like this morning and I hadn't thought about it in my video yesterday. So I just wanted to let you guys know how a pre-order works. Is where a pre-order is where you pay like $35 or whatever the beginning prices, and that's to kind of hold your spot. That's to see if it's an open sort of edition. That's to see how many people are interested in this kit, or if it's like just 1,000 kits, that holds your spot for one of those 1,000 kits. And then once the kit is released, then you pay the rest, whether it be 100 or 95, whatever the price, you pay the rest of it, and that's when you get the kit. You don't get the kit right after you pay for the pre-order, and that $35 is not the price of the kit. Usually the kit's over $100 or whatever. So I just wanted to clear up any confusion people had, and maybe that little tip will help. So I'm gonna yeah, so if you see a pre-order, $35 is the pre-order price, and it's not the actual price of the kit. Okay, I'm just gonna, these are in no order of what they were in the video, and I hope this is coherent enough. So I'm just gonna read these again just to cover my bullet points. Don't ask for free stuff, ever. Don't ask for free reborns. Don't ask for free clothes. Don't ask for donations towards a doll. Don't use sob stories. 9 out of 10 times you'll look like a scammer. Be careful when asking for cheap reborns. I know some are on a budget, but save up. You'll thank me later. Some people don't like when you ask for cheap. These dolls are the opposite. Not cheap. Full silicone versus partial silicone. No such thing as a vinyl reborn. Full silicone is the full body, and partial silicone are the head and the arms and the legs and sometimes the belly plate. The doll's gonna poop or cry or pee or drink or any of that. That's all video editing. These dolls range from $200 to over $1,000, so that's the price range. Don't buy Ivita or Baby Clon. Usually the more you pay, the more you get. When asking in a group, looking to see what people have, so you want to buy a reborn, post everything you're looking for: hair color, eyes, open, asleep, full silicone, reborn. Post your budget. Budget always helps so people know what to post and like whether you want a girl or boy. And make sure you ask for references / safety photo, so that you know what you're getting is a legit doll. So hopefully I explained everything in detail. Okay, hopefully I explained everything in detail. Hopefully I gave enough answers. If I missed anything that pertains to any of this that you want people to know, feel free to post it in the comments below. And then that way they can read the comments. So if you're at the end, thank you for coming here. And yeah, just read the comments if there's anything that you missed, or that I missed, I should say, anything that I missed and you want to see in the comments. That you think people should know as like a first time when they're looking for a doll, or that was kind of my idea, was, you know, like artists could share this video to their groups or to their, you know, um, artist pages to kind of let people be aware of the whole community and kind of just get a feel for us. We're not scary people, honest, we're not. But we don't like it when people do certain things, and I wanted to kind of educate people on these certain things. So I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna go take this video, my camera upstairs, and hopefully see if I can edit this video and get it out and onto YouTube. So I will see you guys later. Bye.